Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, good morning, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to Morning Dew on Dott Television, the first day of the week. My name is Henry Uzo, and of course, Success Benjamin is in the studio.
Yes, a very warm welcome to you, Rise and Shine Nigerians. This is Morning Dew on Dott Television. I am Success Benjamin. Here we'll bring you top stories and news headlines making waves across the globe.
Of course, Priska is also in the studio for the first time.
Good morning. It's so happy to be here. It's so nice to be here, and I'm so glad. And it's actually a very beautiful Monday morning. And so we're going to be taking a look at a lot of issues around the country this morning. Of course, top of that short, we have the election that went down in Osun State on Saturday, and we saw how it played out between Governor Ademola Adeleke and, of course, the APC candidates and the ADC candidates, and the additional 12 other parties to make it 15 parties that participated in that election. So we'll be bringing you all the updates and what is happening around the country.
All right, we're glad to have you. We must tell you that.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Have a nice time with you.
Welcome, Priska.
I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so
much. All right. Well, viewer, when we come back, we shall be checking the news updates. Of course, Success is standing by with the stories. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome to News Updates on Morning Dew. Olorogo Dr. Ebenezer Okorodudu, Executive Director of Projects, the Sopotec, has congratulated the Chairman of the Board of Delta Broadcasting Service, Warri, Barrister Moses Odibo, on his birthday. In a congratulatory message issued in Warri on Sunday, Dr. Okorodudu described Odibo as a distinguished administrator and committed public servant whose leadership has contributed to the growth of the Delta Broadcasting Service. He commended his dedication to the organization's responsibility of informing, educating, and entertaining the people of Delta State. Dr. Okorodudu wished Odibo continued wisdom, strength, and success, praying for many more years of good health, peace, and prosperity. Now, Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Warri has commended the monarchs of Warri for promoting peace, unity, and peaceful coexistence among the people of the area. The governor spoke through the Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Nyerowo Tonukari, at the closing ceremony of the inaugural Warri Unity Games held on Saturday at the Federal Government College, Warri. Tonukari said the governor recognizes sports as a powerful tool for strengthening relationships and promoting lasting peace. He urged the athletes and the spectators to uphold discipline, fair play, and mutual respect, assuring that the state government would continue to support grassroots initiatives that promote youth development, cultural heritage, and peaceful coexistence. The OVA of Agbara Warri Kingdom, Kingsley Emakbo Orere Atenoru Igbi II, also commended the Olu of Warri for initiating the games, describing them as important steps towards reconciliation and unity. He urged residents to extend the spirit of peace beyond the sporting arena and avoid inflammatory statements, particularly on social media. Also speaking, the Olu of Warri Ogiyame Atuase III said the games were designed to highlight common bonds shared by the people of Warri. He announced that the Unity Games would become a regular feature of his coronation anniversary activities, with the initiative aimed at promoting unity and preventing a repeat of past conflicts. The monarch expressed optimism that Warri could reclaim its place as a leading cultural and tourism destination, stressing that the people must work together to build a more peaceful and prosperous future. Now on entertainment, Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri, and former Delta State Governor Chief James Onanefe Ibori were among dignitaries who attended the funeral of the late Prince Firimokomo Penuwo on Saturday. The funeral service held in Akugbene Bomadi local government area of Delta State attracted political leaders, government officials, traditional rulers, community leaders, and other prominent personalities who gathered to pay their final respects. Pa Penuel, who died at the age of 104, was the father of the Delta State Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Prince Kelly Penuel, and Chief Joseph Penuel, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of First Marine Engineering Services Limited. Other dignitaries at the ceremony included former Delta State Deputy Governor Dikin Kingsley Otwara, Senator Joel Onowapo Thomas, former Senator James Manager, Honorable Nicholas Muto, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Heineken Lopoberi, Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Imamotimi Guo, and other political and business leaders. The mourners offered prayers and condolences to the Penuel family while celebrating the life and legacy of the deceased who lived for more than a century. Now on politics, a sign of relief and victory as Governor Ademola Adeleke has been declared the winner of the Osun State governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The incumbent secured 511067 votes to defeat APC candidate Bola Oyebamiji, who polled 44815 votes. The ADC candidate Najeem Salim finished third with 17,180 votes. The results was announced on Sunday after votes were collated from all 30 local government areas in the states. Now on foreign scene, Iran has rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to declare the strategic Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory, warning that the waterways cannot be taken through military force or political declarations. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister for Local and International Affairs Kazim Karibadi said the strait has been Iranian, is Iranian, and will remain Iranian in response to Trump's remark. Trump had said he would soon declare the Strait of Hormuz a U.S. territory after what he described as the defeat of Iran. The Strait of Hormuz, located between Iran and Oman, connects the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and remains a major route for global energy shipments. Iran's position has further heightened tensions between Tehran and Washington, with the status and reopening of the waterway emerging as a key issue in the ongoing confrontation. And we'll wrap it here for news updates on Morning Dew. Many more to come when we return after this break. Don't go away.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are going straight to what the papers are saying. We'll read out the headlines for you, beginning with Business Day. EFCC recovers $60 million in ongoing Nestor investigation. We have the Bank of Industry's 250 billion naira development bond oversubscribed in 5 days. And then, of course, we have the long road to Gerigu's Power's shock bond default. That's all we can take on Business Day.
Now, moving on to Nigerian Tribune, we have ASU clears two varsities for strike over failed 2025 agreements. Top 5 transactions that attract withholding tax in Nigeria. El-Rufai sues ICPC for allegedly denying his family access to him. Now we have the topical headline here, how Adeleke won role of resolute Osun people withheld LG funds, salaries, pensions, influence of Deji Adeleke, Davido orders, the Omisho Ife Oshogbo Connect. Tinubu says his victory confirmed electorate confidence in him. Atiku Obi Makinde PDP orders congratulate him. Wild jubilation in many towns. We are studying election results, APC. Adeleke dedicates victory to God. Osun people reiterate support for Tinubu. And that's all we could take for the Tribune.
And now we'll move to the Guardian newspaper for this morning, and we have the bold headline there that talks about the opposition's victory relieves people power, raises stake for the APC in 2027. Of course, we have some other rider there. First one there says, gunmen kill 4 in Benue as troops repel attack on Borno military base. As talking about security issues in the country. And the other headline says, El-Rufai files fresh 10 billion naira suit against ICPC for allegedly denying family access to him. And we have that information coming in from Atiku saying, stop blaming past government for refinery woes, Atiku tells President Tinubu. And Osun polls, we have Makinde, NGF, ADC, Riwa, Yaga Africa congratulating Governor Ademola Adeleke. And finally, of course, we have that headline right up there saying EFCC recovers $60 million in ongoing Nest Oil investigation. And that's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning.
Now, moving on to the Vanguard, we have the top line there says EFCC recovers $60 million in ongoing Nest Oil investigation. And now we have the topical headline here say why Adeleke won again in Osun division in the APC. Governor Adeleke's regular payment of salaries, that's INEC speaking, INEC conducts prompt upload of results on IREV. Adeleke declares no victor, no vanquished, clashes with Keyamo over support for Tinubu. Imports choke textile industry rise to 1.1 trillion naira in 2 years. And now we have opposition parties must bury egos to defeat APC in 2027. That's Duke speaking. Concession of King's College, parents mobilize for protest. Now on ranching plan sparks fresh war between Governor Allah and PDP. And that's all we could take for the Vanguard this morning.
Over now to Daily Trusts. And of course, the banner headline, how Osun election was won, lost. Flood, residents stranded, vehicles submerged in Abuja. Students, 4 workers died in Kano, building collapse. And of course, 2027 Accord, AAC, SDP, presidential candidates joined forces against Tinubu. And then, of course, 25 billion Nigerian Morocco gas pipeline dream drags. That's all we can take from Daily Trust.
Now, bringing us to the Punch, let's see what we have here. On the topical story here, still on Adeleke. Adeleke extends olive branch, APC Malls Tribunal challenge. Now, the writers down here says Tinubu hails Adeleke, commends INEC security agencies for credible poll. Atiku Obi Kwankwaso salute governor on re-election, congratulates Osun voters. APC says tribunal will be explored as lawyers review poll results from 332 words. And up here we have Tinubu bets on PH Warri refineries despite Obasanjo's doubts. Now down here, bank fintech flags 42,082 suspicious transactions to NFIU. Osun woman found dead with severed hand inside church. And that's all we could take for the punch.
And now moving to the Nigerian News Direct paper this morning, we have the bold headline that says, "How Grassroots Appeal Secured My Victory at Osun Guba Polls." And that's coming from Governor Ademola Adeleke. And we have other headlines: over 26,272 C of O issued in 3 years. That's coming from Wike. Banks caught oil, gas lending by 335 billion naira. And we also have another one there talking about the NGX new pricing methodology, which is going to take effect on August 17. Other headlines: El Rufai files a 10 billion naira lawsuit against the ICPC. Another headline: why women miss 30% PPP target. That's coming from Pencom. And finally, we have that one from sports. 2026 may be my last year of professional football. And that's coming from Ronaldo. And that's what you can take this morning from the News Direct.
Now, moving on to the Daily Times. Above the masthead, we have LG polls. Opposition parties boycott Bauchi election over fees timetable. Nigerians' external debt hits $51.9 billion as Eurobond World Bank dominates. And now we have the topical headline here, says Adeleka's victory assurance of flourishing democracy in Nigeria. That's Tinubu speaking. Governor promises support for president in 2027. We are studying results. APC Atiku, ADC, PDP Kalu congratulate Accord candidates. I am not bothered about being a spare tire, Vice President speaking. And that's all we could take for the Daily Times.
Next is Daily Sun. APC, we are studying results of Osun governorship election. AI disruption. 9 million Nigerian jobs may disappear by 2030, say experts. Tinubu, Obi, Osun indigenes celebrate Adeleke's victory. Then, of course, we have Wike slashes CFO waiting time as FCT processes 26,272 titles. War against organized murder is what we have there. And of course, UBEC opens second chance education pathway for out-of-school girls. All that from Daily Sun.
Now, moving on to the nation, we have EFCC recovers $60 million in ongoing Nestor investigation. And now we have in the face of truth, in the fight against terror, the soldier protects the ground. The journalist must protect the truth. Now we have Boys Maiden Development Bond over subscribed in 5 working days. Bank CEOs attributes faith to president. And that's all we can take for the nation.
And finally, we'll move to This Day newspaper, and where we have the bold headline that says, Tinubu calls Adeleke, task him on unity as INEC declares governor re-elected. That's following the Osun election on Saturday. Another headline, Bank of Industry mobilizes 250 billion naira development bond in domestic capital market as institutional demand spikes. Moving on to the last one there, says EFCC recovers $60 million in ongoing Nest Oil investigation. That's much we can take from this day newspaper.
All right, that's it on the headlines. And of course, when we come back, we shall be reviewing some of the headlines we read out to you for the benefit of everyone. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 17th has hosted several important events that shaped Nigeria's political, security, and social landscape. One notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha dissolved the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and appointed a sole administrator amid growing labour agitation for the restoration of democracy. Also on this day in 1941, former military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, was born in Minna, Niger State. He later ruled Nigeria from 1985 to 1993. In another significant event, 85 Nigerians kidnapped by Boko Haram were rescued by Chadian troops in 2014 after being taken across the border into Chad. Interestingly, August 17th connects two major figures from Nigeria's military era. Ibrahim Babangida was born on this date in 1941, while his former second-in-command, Augustus Aikomu, died on the same date 70 years later. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 17th significant in Nigerian history. I am Peace Mokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, thank you for staying with us. We are looking at some of the headlines we read out to you. And we have our resource person in the studio talking about Godfrey Ubaka. You're welcome, sir.
Mr. Henry, good to see you.
Yeah.
Great to see
And the rest of the
Yeah.
members of the house.
Yes. Thank you.
Well done.
So, how was your weekend?
Oh, yes, it was a weekend, but to be honest with you, I was physically in Delta, but spiritually I was in Osun.
Osun State.
Okay.
Because
That's
I was just keeping up.
You were-
I was just
you were
monitoring.
interested.
Yes, I
Yes.
was interested because I saw many things that were at work.
Yeah.
So I needed to follow to see whether
I
there is
found
still
that.
hope for Nigeria's democracy. And to be honest with you, I was gladdened the way it turned out.
Okay.
So I was more or less in Osun.
Thank God that you
I'm
were
back.
in Osun, and then we don't want you to come back because that's the first thing we are looking at.
That's
The
the
election
first-
that I held
That's
at
good.
Osun State, in Osun State at the
Yes.
weekend. Now, let's begin to approach it. The governor has been re-elected. What does that say for us, democracy, our democracy? And of course, you were talking about many things playing out and you were interested. Why were you interested? Let's tie them together.
Yes, I was interested because I saw democracy on trial
Okay.
in some ways. I was interested because I saw a federal might pitched against a state authority, as it were. And I was interested because I have understood democracy to mean the government of the people, by
The
and for the people,
Okay.
But I saw an Osun that was evidently militarized.
Okay.
I saw an Osun where the military presence was such that only 44% of registered voters summoned the courage to come out
I was
Okay.
going to come to
and
that.
vote. I saw an Osun state where governors left their states to come there. Senate president left. You know, the entire the political personages, the political elites.
We're also told that 30 commissioners of police
60.
were also drafted there.
And DIGs,
60.
you know, and Nigerians wonder if you had the whole of this military presence, why not use it to solve the issue of insecurity? You understand? But thank God for the 44-point-something% of the registered voters who came out
Yeah, who were
and
courageous.
endorsed that somebody has been working.
Yeah.
That he has been dancing doesn't mean he has not been
He has not
working.
been working.
He has been working, you know, and he has been connecting with the grassroots. And at the end of it all, the people said, we need him for continuity. And in spite of the imagine that 10 days to the election, their first bank account for FARC was frozen.
But the FCC.
You imagine that a senator from that state gave instruction wherever you cite any member of a court party, the
Kill him,
governor's
kill
party,
him.
kill him. You know, so there were things that didn't really show that we are maturing democratically. And so if it had ended in a situation where the person, the party at the center, APC, took over Osun, it would have been a state capture. You know, but thank God that the people of Osun stood their ground. And at the end, the governor had a re-election for another 4 years, you know, which is a very significant mandate. And as we speak, the president has had to call him
Yeah,
to say
we'll get there.
the
We'll get there.
people of Osun
We'll get there.
have spoken.
There's an aspect I want you
The
to
people of
address.
Osun have spoken. Yeah, you can guide me on
There's
what
an
you want me
yeah,
to
there's an
know.
aspect I want to
But-
address because there was so much hue and cry about federal government wanting to take Osun. Is there anything wrong with the government of center wanting to win more states? Or the approach is what people are talking about? Because there was so much hue and cry about even the issue of EFCC
Yes.
freezing that account.
Mr.
It
Henry,
was just an
Mr.
ordinary
Henry, democracy is
investigative
about
procedure.
political parties. Democracy is about political parties marketing their manifesto.
Okay.
Democracy is about a culture of not coercion, but conviction. I have to tell you, you know, with peace, you know, somebody said it's better to jaw than to war. Democracy is about jaw. Let us talk it over and let us arrive at something, because it is better than when we descend to the level of war, which is militarism. So where we are coming from is a military culture. Where are we now? Democracy. We want our democracy to be entrenched to a point where the people will know that their decision, their choice, they have a voice. And the sacred ballot, you know, can lead to leadership emergence. The fear was that the federal institutions were trying to suffocate the people of Osun from coming out to freely express this electoral process. Coming to your question, was there anything wrong in the federal APC wanting to win more states?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. It is in the way you want to do
The
it.
approach.
If you do it from the fact of let us sell APC manifesto and let the people be free to buy which one,
Yeah.
but not by coercion, not by freezing of account, not by you know, they had stopped him from they had given him an injunction not to carry out a local government election a couple of months ago. He went ahead, standing by the Constitution, to conduct that election, which gave him the grassroots support. If a man is working, let the people be able to decide whether he is working or not working. And not you coming with federal structures and agencies to as it were, you know, you don't beat a child and ask the child not to cry. That is, you know, so, and something happened. Something happened. I know you're tight on time, but look, for every step,
these are major
yes, for every
I
step,
want us to approach
for
from every
every
hand.
step that the federal might try to take, it helped to sway sympathy towards Adeleke.
Okay, I want to go back to sorry to badge, but I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, that the Osun people, about 44% turnout compared to the voters who registered actually and collected their PVC. Okay, so I was going through some statistics and some figure yesterday. I discovered that as of 2006, the last population figure from Osun State from the National Population Commission was about 3.4 million, and that was back in 2006. So based on demographic projections, by now we should be looking at about 4.7 million people to 5.8 million persons in Osun State. Now, out of all of those, we have about 1 point
Just
something.
1.9.
Yeah, 1.9 million
That were registered
who
to vote.
were registered voters and collected their PVCs. So you look at the difference between the population, the census, and then you look at the number of persons who actually came out to register to vote. Now, out of all of that, we just have about, I think, 1,010,000 persons who actually came out to vote. And the vote cast, the valid vote counted, was about 1,005,000 and something. Yeah. So looking at this tells me that we still have some challenges, especially in the aspect of voter apathy.
Voter apathy, that's
exactly.
the issue.
We used to have more than this in the past. But presently, it seems, would you say there's an improvement in the voter apathy issue in Nigeria?
It's not an improvement. One is that our democratic process is trying to get entrenched, but the major problem is that people have this feeling that whether they vote or they don't vote,
or they have been made
to believe that the result had been agreed somewhere.
Before
so a number of people believe that their votes do not count. What Osun has tried to prove to Nigerians is that your votes count. Don't forget that this is about the third time he's running for the election. He lost in the first attempt with about less than 4,000 votes. You know, for him to be elected some 4 years ago, it was the same APC that he beat to it. A man that eventually became the minister for blue economy and marine. Now, the same APC appeared to be pitched against him. And don't forget the journey he undertook, from PDP. When he found that PDP was
being
fragmented, and he came to
Accord.
So it needed an unusual charisma to carry your vote from a party that had become an household name to a party that is not known in that part of the world. So the feat accomplished by Adeleke confirmed that is one of the most entrenched political families. And they carried along the grassroots. He performed while there in office. So his performance spoke for him.
I see you're making a lot of case for Adeleke.
Yes. Based on the facts that we are seeing on ground.
Facts on ground.
Yes.
Okay,
let me tell you.
Okay.
Most African families, you hear that Mr. A is doing well, but that his niece or his cousin is fragmented with him.
Yeah, it's at variance.
At variance with him. That's something about your greatest enemies come from your families. The Adeleke family has proven to us that your greatest supporter can come from your family
as well.
All right, let's go.
The musician, of course, he doesn't need to be in government house for his music to flourish.
Yeah.
But he was as if he was the one running for the election.
Now let's come this way. A lot of kudos is being given to the electorate. There has been this lingo we have developed now, defend your vote. And people are saying that the Osun people actually, defended their vote. That's why Adeleke could come, that they were able to forestall every attempt for manipulation, by some of them even actually, uploading the result from their areas.
Exactly.
Now, what do we say to that?
Yes, our democracy is in the process of being entrenched.
Okay.
Some call it nascent democracy.
No, it's no longer nascent.
What does it mean?
Evolving.
What is evolving democracy? What does it mean? All hands should be on deck to see how we could stabilize it until it becomes a way of life. Otherwise, there are people, they were polling booths where at the point of collation, they had to tear gas. Who did the tear gassing? Just to disperse the people. So there were efforts to
Manipulate.
But the people didn't just vote. They stood by. A 98 or so year old man said he started voting in the days or years of Awolowo.
Yeah.
And that he has come, he wants to vote. There was a professor whom they didn't, the Beavers didn't recognize his face. He said he has come, he wants to vote. Those who came out, in spite of the security blockades here and there, who managed to come out, insisted on coming out because they knew that not coming out meant surrendering to people, surrendering their franchise, and it could have just been misused. So the president calling him to congratulate him, that was also okay, because it was beyond a state election. It was like a referendum, the very last before the ultimate year of 2027. So it was like the president himself was also standing election. Don't forget that he may have been governor of Lagos State, but Osun is his birthplace.
Yeah.
The governor said that much. He said he's an Osun son.
Yeah.
It's my father, he's an Osun son. He is from Osun State.
Yeah.
And so the Southwest, they needed to prove a point that the Southwest is, as a bloc, is entirely behind the president. Now we know Ibadan is fragmented, considering the position of the current governor of Oyo State. And now Osun, we can see, is for anybody to grab. It's under AD. I mean, a third party. And not APC. You understand? So the things that played out were beyond an ordinary, permit me to use that word, state election. They needed an endorsement, because now you cannot predict the position of the North.
Yeah.
El Rufai is somewhere making a case, let me have access to my family. There are issues. And the North, after the deregulation, the level of poverty there has escalated to a point. You understand? And so now the president needed to make a point. I am going to 2027 with my traditional base, en bloc, not splittered in any way.
Yeah.
But Osun failed to deliver that to the president.
Well, you see, there are so many things to say about Osun election. First, like you said, the president has congratulated him, which is good. But now we also hear that APC, his party, is studying the results.
Exactly.
And then Adeleke himself has said he will support Tinubu in his election. You know, all these mix. You know, how do they play out democracy for us? Or is it our own brand?
Even your brother, our brother, aviation minister, in congratulating Adeleke, reminded him, said, don't forget, agreement is agreement.
What is the agreement?
What is the agreement? That's
Very
the
good
question.
question.
The last time we had that was in Anambra State.
Yes.
You know, between Ngige and the Godfather.
Yes.
Agreement is agreement. But Adeleke's campaign team has had to clarify that there was no agreement of any sort between Adeleke and
the
president. Adeleke never said, help,
me.
the result
Help me,
the result we are celebrating today is a reflection of the will of the people of Osun State. And that is what it should be, democratically speaking. And not that the president manipulated it so that Adeleke will use his support base to support him in 2027. So they had to clarify that Keyamu's agreement is agreement. That look, Adeleke says he will support Tinubu in 2027 based on his reforms and all that.
And coming from Osun State.
And coming from Osun State. So he will support his own. But again, that could be a political statement going forward.
When you say politicians clarify, their clarification is not always clear. Yes.
Okay,
success.
so now that we've seen, the people of Osun celebrating real, I want to use the word real democracy, as in this is what we want and we vote our candidates. Can we say, can we really have this replay for 2027 election, as in having the citizens' votes count for who they really want as their leaders?
As we go forward in our journey in democracy, what is expected is that the will of the people should translate to a peaceful election. You know, the police said they are still investigating, countdown to the election, about 30 killings that were politically related. That is not how democracy should be. We expect that our democracy should be such that people go about, parties go about, selling their manifestos, selling what they believe in, and allow the people uncoerced to make their decision. Whether the Oshun example can be replicated elsewhere, we expect that it does not just be replicated, it should be improved upon. Because in our democracy journey, we should be getting better by the day. We should be getting better. We should do away with voter apathy. We should be able to come out and vote. We should be able to stand and defend our votes. We should also be able to make the days of our election to be less militarized. Let it not be, election is about democracy. It's not about rolling out the drum of war. Election is not drum of war. So let us sheathe our sword and let us canvass and do more of the talking. And let us also know that we have a date every 4 years to keep with the people, and that we should be able to allow our performance
speak for us.
to speak for us. Adeleke said he went about beyond his birthplace a day, his local government. That in Ife, he built flyovers. So wherever he went to campaign, he was able to point at projects. We are talking about legacy projects. Let you leave behind legacy wherever you find yourself. Because a time will come that you will be judged better by the legacy. You were there for this period. What did you do? What difference did you make? What value did you bring to the table? So those were the issues. And the people of Oshu spoke, and they spoke loudly. I think that is about democracy evolving, and it can be done in any other part of the country.
All right, so much on the Oshu election, because I'm sure it will dominate conversation in media houses today, even here. Let's advance. Tinubu is still insisting that Port Harcourt refinery and Warri refinery will come back on stream very soon, even though our own dear Obasanjo is saying it's not possible. This insistence, is it necessary?
Well, I wish to be by him, and I hope that he's speaking with the facts the way they should be. It is my earnest desire that the Nigerians downstream should not just be dominated by a Dangote. A private sector initiative, as worthy of an initiative as it is, we do not expect, we can't get the best from a monopoly. So I want to see Warri come back to life with Warri refinery. I want to see the refinery in Port Harcourt. Is it in Eleme? I want to see the refinery in Kaduna come back to life, you know. But it should be beyond political sloganeering. We have had a whole lot of TAM, they call it, turnaround maintenance. And it's been like a way of, you know, spinning out money out of the... He wants the refineries back. Through what kind of operational model? Is it through private sector partnership or initiative? So we need the president to speak based on existing facts and based on professional expert advice. Obasanjo has given up on those refineries that they may never work.
Even when he was there, are
we turning them into museums or something? Yes. So I have this feeling that, you know, impossibility exists only in the dictionary. or fools. I want to stand with my president,
Yes.
President Bola Tinubu, that it is possible,
it's possible.
to make refinery in
Our refineries
work. Yes, but we should take it up from that point to the point of matching words with action.
Yeah.
Let us have a roadmap. The refineries will work when? And if they are to work by next year, what are we to start seeing between now as we enter into the Ember months? What are we to be seeing between now and so that it doesn't just be like you have said it to give hope for a re-election and all that. So we want to match words with action. We want the refineries to work. It should go beyond saying it. We should see it act out and play out.
All right, the rains are here. Abuja is already submerged. The rain of yesterday submerged cars, restricted transportation. There were warnings. And of course, how are we heeding to these warnings?
Before you talk of Abuja, it caught my street.
Okay, your own street.
It caught my street.
Your street was not reported.
It delayed my coming to this place.
You didn't report your street. Next time, report your own.
It delayed my coming to this place. It was a heavy rain. I didn't know it was that heavy until I came out this morning.
It was yesterday.
I saw that my street was badly caught. Anyway, that's part of Delta State. But issue of rain is that we know it is the season. We know it comes. We should be proactive. We should plan against this season. There are town planners. There's one that the station connects to in Ambrose Ali University, and it's been wonderful with telling us how to come out of this. We should plan our cities better. We should also comply with the master plans, the town planning rules. A number of the drainage and waterways, people have built on them. Youths have sold them. Land grabbers have sold them. And we now see that we are just living at the mercy of nature. Water must find its level. The rain will fall. The flood will come. But let's plan our communities and urban centers a lot better. Then it comes with flooding. I have known places where they now have alternate cities. During the flood is here, and while the warnings are on, you evacuate the people and make them to go to a resettlement, not necessarily an IDP, a resettlement center that is upland, where they still have school, they have medical facilities, and they stay there until their ancestral abode, as it were, is dried up, and they go back. So these things come over and over again. And we know they will come again next year. So we just need to be proactive in our planning and be very practical about it.
Okay, I want to ask about the FRSA bill. I believe you've heard about it. 2 months back, the National Assembly took up the amendment bill for the Federal Road Safety Corps Amendment Bill 2026, saying that henceforth, so any preacher that is found preaching in a commercial vehicle will be arrested, prosecuted, and will pay 50,000 naira fine. And then a lot of uproar followed that. And the Senate came out, the National Assembly came out to say, no, this thing was already there. We're just doing amendment. And so we're having the Christian Association of Nigeria now, Southwest Zone, that's a CAN now, appealing to President because the National Assembly has already passed it. So it's just awaiting the President's assets. So the CAN Southwest is coming out to appeal to President Tinubu, please, penned actions on, assenting this bill. Because when this bill is passed or signed by the president, if you find a preacher in a commercial vehicle,
I think it's about 50,000 naira.
And then some are also linking into this issue of the Muslim ticket, saying it is also a sign that the Muslim ticket is finding a way to, quash religious freedom.
Yeah, Priska, well, this is not entirely new. It's been in the news all this while.
And we've talked about it
we've talked about it over and over. And to be very, very candid with you, Nigeria is a secular country. And we need, from the days of IBB, when issues of the state and issues of secularism, membership of OIC and all that, we actually need to be a little bit more sensitive to our status of being a secular state. And somebody has said, if here were to be a mosque, the most visible thing you will see here is a
Amplified
loudspeaker,
speaker.
hall loudspeaker, and which must wake up everybody in the whole of this territory at a particular 5 o'clock or thereabout, and
Yes.
calling
4:30.
everybody to come. So if you can do that and blare it, why now do you infringe on the rights of people to associate and the right of people for
To
free
worship.
expression? These are and freedom of religion,
Religion,
worship.
yes.
These are constitutionally enshrined freedoms
Right.
that even the First Amendment in the American Constitution say you should not, including that of the press, you should not make any law against them. So we should be a lot more sensitive to issues of religion, and I mean the issues of our secularity. Yes, they have said that the law is not intended to stop people from preaching on the street.
It's in the
It
bus.
has been clarified that it's in the bus, and that it is targeted towards a safe arrival, because it's one thing to tell somebody safe journey, it's another thing to say welcome at the other end. That between saying safe journey as the person is departing, at the point of the embarking, or there should be safety, and that the driver needs, who is the pilot
Focus.
at that point in time,
Full concentration.
needs
To
absolute
concentrate.
concentration. I know you have been flying. There is a section of the plane that you can't get into, the cockpit, especially if the flight has taken off, because the people there require the highest level of concentration. Perhaps that is the letter of that amendment is trying to bring in. But there's usually the difference between the letter and the spirit. It is in the implementation. And the implementation will now say, oh, you're carrying Bible and you are in the park, you're praying for people who are going on a safe journey. Oh, you are arrested.
Yeah, causing
And it
distraction.
now becomes like a clamp down on a particular set of faith and all that. So we should be a lot more sensitive with respect to the fact that Nigeria is a secular state. So we should be able to accommodate the other people of the other faiths and other religions. The beauty, the strength of Nigeria is in our differences, it's in our diversity. You understand? And not necessarily a monolithic whole of that we all are of this of a particular faith. So I think we should learn to accommodate and see how we could live more together.
All right. Finally, because our time is getting tight, on this platform and from the papers, there have been reports about the need for our textile industry to be revamped. And we hear a report today that importation of maybe whatever is needed to produce textiles locally is choking the industry. So, over this, which way do we go from here? We desire them to come back on stream. They are saying that what they import to do their work is choking the industry. They are spending, I think, 1.3 trillion in 2 years. So, what do we do?
Our greatest problem as an economy is that we are so import dependent.
Yeah.
Mr. Henry, what you're wearing,
Everything.
99% of everything.
Don't worry,
is
tomorrow
imported.
we are at the
Look around the studio. Everything here is
imported.
imported.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at what point do we? Somebody at the economic summit, investment summit held in Delta. I think it was Governor Soludo, where he looked at himself. He said he was wearing a kwete, and he pointed at Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. I said, "See what my sister is wearing."
Yes.
That most other people here, if you value what they are wearing, you are keeping the economy of other nations
booming.
alive.
Yeah.
And you are weakening your own economy. How can we create jobs?
Okay.
How can we stabilize the value of the naira? So that is it. And one of the disincentives to making your economy productive, I had reason at some point to visit Nnewi and visit some of their industrial layout.
Okay.
And you find out that people who have the zeal, they have the orientation to manufacture, but the infrastructure of power, in an economy that is driven by generators, will eventually
different kinds
you come out with products that cannot compete in the world.
Overvalued.
Because you see a situation where you manufacture something here and the value for you to break even, you cost it at this amount. But people are in India and China manufacturing.
Yeah.
And they are asking your brothers, don't pay. Let me just ship them in.
After you have
Put
sold.
them in your warehouse. When you are finished selling, then
Return
return to
money.
me. So who will he patronize in that setting? The man from China or India, or me who manufactured the Newi, and I'm struggling to see how to pay my workers and still be in business.
How you're going to pay for the fuel?
For the fuel. And they pay local government for their tenement rate and pay the state
all manner of rates.
and pay all manner of there's no tax freedom, you know, even in this. So we must make our environment to be investment friendly. It should be more investment friendly than it is now. And we should also realize that by the time you are picking up this and it does not have a local content, then of course you are sustaining another economy.
Okay.
You are sustaining another economy. So let's be deliberate about it. Let's be intentional about it. Let us see how we can patronize our own and see how to grow our economy. So that at some point we should be able to say, oh, we are creating jobs for our children.
Okay. All right, that will do it for paper review for this morning. Godfrey Ubaka, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I told you look like a traditional ruler this morning who is round about his
Thank
palace.
you so much.
A traditional ruler whose street has been cut
By the flood.
by the flood.
All right, of course,
you, Mr.
Priska
Ubaka.
and Success are still here with
Thank you
me.
so
And when we come back, we go over to other conversations. Take care. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 17th has hosted several important events that shaped Nigeria's political, security, and social landscape. One notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha dissolved the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and appointed a sole administrator amid growing labor agitation for the restoration of democracy. Also on this day in 1941, former military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, was born in Minna, Niger State. He later ruled Nigeria from 1985 to 1993. In another significant event, 85 Nigerians kidnapped by Boko Haram were rescued by Chadian troops in 2014 after being taken across the border into Chad. Interestingly, August 17th connects two major figures from Nigeria's military era. Ibrahim Babangida was born on this date in 1941, while his former second-in-command, Augustus Aikomu, died on the same date 70 years later. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 17th significant in Nigerian history. I am Peace Mokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. Thank you for being there. And we're shifting to softer ground because Kira is already in the studio.
Hello.
First of all, it was your birthday at the weekend. Yes.
Yes, it was.
Did you just...
Yeah, I mean...
That day was your day, so
It
do
was
shakara.
lovely. It was
How did you
lovely.
celebrate?
Well, my family started with, they woke me up with surprises.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to the orphanage.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to... Yeah, I
You didn't take Dott TV along with you?
No, Dott TV should go. Like, let's separate it. I'll give them. They shouldn't be doing my name.
No, I mean, you should.
No,
you
like,
should have
okay,
taken
your
us to
family,
publicize what
Dott
you
TV
did. Is that not what
family
they
to
do?
do it.
Yes,
Yeah,
They watch-
so
they
I
watch
would
you
have
know
had
that
it
you are doing,
showcased here today.
you are doing subsidy.
actually just went to show them love, not
Okay.
for publicity. And then
That's
after that,
alright.
we had lunch.
That's a good one.
And then dinner, and then relaxed.
Oh, yeah. No.
You know?
So, what do we have today? What's the gist?
Well, the gist is that you know that every Monday we have our artists, our celebrities. Over the weekend, they usually do crazy or say crazy stuff. So Monday we have things to talk about on the show.
A lot.
Yes, quite a lot. But to take the relevant ones, I would like to start with Omale.
Omele has come out to say in a podcast that he has currently stopped trying to quit smoking because he has done it a lot of times. And each time he usually do see himself go back to it. So there's no need. According to him, he said that we all will die one day. So whether you smoke or you didn't smoke, alcohol or no alcohol, you're still going to answer your maker one day. So he said that even though to him smoking, when I mean smoking, I don't mean cigarettes. So
I
we mean the
know.
legal everything combined. The vegetables, yes, the vegetables. So he said that the vegetables do give him artificial happiness, and also because it's illegal in Nigeria, it kind of makes him feel rebellious, and that gives him, a kick. To life. He said that
it's a vibe for him.
yes, it is. It
The
is.
fact that I'm a rebel.
And this, could you really call it a rebel?
Okay,
Because
rebel.
This led me to habit cultivation. Like I wanted to talk about it with you, but after the outer stories, because we see that habits are easy to cultivate, but quite hard to get
To
over.
break. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
All right, when you finish, we'll come back to that.
Yes.
Just give us the other
Yes,
stories.
because the next story is my guy Pella. I always love Pella stories because in as much as we may not agree with his ways or his life, he kind of looks like he has grace. If you know what I mean. Because recently over the weekend, he was gifted a G-Wagon.
Wow.
Okay.
A G-Wagon. Not his money, just someone just saw him out of the goodness of his heart or the likeness he has for the guy. Gifted him this. And Pella couldn't believe it himself when they told him to go sign the receipt as the owner because the car was bought in his name.
Wow.
He now saw the amount, 300 million naira.
Only.
Wow.
Why do you always put only in
That's how
that's
to,
yeah, very quick.
that's the technical
Only.
way
My
of
problem
mentioning
is you-
money. You
you-
don't mention money
You
without
always
putting
remind.
only.
That was how I said something billion dollars.
You
He
said
said
only.
only.
Yes. The only does not mean that it's small. That's how to say it.
But you're so
But
quick
in-
with it.
in-
5
in a-
naira only.
Yeah, but in the
5 naira,
African sense,
220 kobo only.
yes, but in the African sense, when you put only, it makes it look like you're.
It's very
very,
yes,
very,
I
I have
get.
a question.
Yeah,
I have
that
a question
is
for
so
him.
simple.
Have you
It's
worked in the
very
bank before? You know that's where they use the language
Yes,
often.
that's
Only.
why they use
Yes.
the
When
language.
when you feel the tell
It's
In
money,
a setting,
it's
in
money
a
language.
setting,
It's more
money
than that.
language.
just
Only tells you that that's where it ends. Because somebody
Just.
can say, I bought it for 300 million. It may turn out that
There's
there were
some change.
fraction. So when you say only, it stops it
That's
there.
not like a fraction
No.
300 million to
only.
only.
To only.
Okay.
No,
Even if
no.
it's minus 100 million.
No, but he does have
It's
a
all right.
point.
You are
He
still
does
coming with
Yeah.
that. You are still coming with this cliche in your head that when we say only, it means that it's small.
No,
Yes,
it's not
that's-
small. You should put the weight of
Yes,
how
the
I
weight of
struggle to
it.
make this money to
Okay,
it.
now.
Be
You
very,
say
very
only.
quick with the only. I'm not saying you shouldn't put only. Like only. Not only.
It's okay.
All right. Anyway, away from that, he was very surprised when he saw the amount, which is 300 million naira. And he also broadcasted this on a live stream, his live stream. Basically, that's what he's doing. That's literally his job right
Yes.
now.
Everything
Broadcasting
for him is a
Hustle.
skit.
yeah, broadcasting his life on social media. I mean, that's what pays. And he pays good money. So anyway, away from that, Charlie Poppy. I want to enter the house of Beanie Boys. Because over the weekend, Charlie Poppy, Shay Vibes, T.I. Blaze, and another guy like that they dragged their former music executive known as Dapper Dan for in Charlie's case, he said that Dapper Dan forged his signature and sold his catalog for 10 years to a foreign company
Whoa.
and did not give him a dime of it. He didn't even know about it. He didn't even know that it existed until he was looking for the royalties of a song, We Don't Cast. I don't know if you know that song, but it was really big.
I know the song.
Oh,
I
wow.
know you are
You know you're a bishop. As
Come
well.
at me. You don't cast. I know the song.
So Charlie Poppy also said that Dapper did not tell him before he sold the contract. He used the signature he used in his management deal to put it on that contract, and he sold it to a foreign company for $1 million. And out of
That's
his
a
$1 million,
lot.
he
Didn't give him a dime.
he didn't give him one.
$1
So he was
million
comparing
only.
him to the Jude Okoye. He said, Jude no sabi work rich. Said Jude is learning from you because not just him, three artists over the weekend came out to accuse the same man of the same thing. You wouldn't say that all three of them are all lying. They all keep on saying about being ripped off by this young man. This young man also happens to be the bastard's boyfriend. So, yes. That's all for entertainment.
That's
All
very
right,
good.
let's come back to the issue of a young man coming out to the public to say he couldn't stop doing what he started doing. Everything that has a beginning should have an end. We were all as young men smoking, and we knew how we started. You know, peer influence. You want to be seen as, you know,
Is that a confession?
whatever.
Is that a confession?
What you want to call it?
sounds
Whatever
like
you
a
call it, but I'm
confession.
just trying to help somebody out there.
Exactly.
Now, when you smoke and you get to a certain level, you ask yourself questions. This thing I'm doing, he told you that is giving him artificial
Happiness.
Vibe.
What's the
Yeah.
meaning of that?
But then, you know,
in English?
Yeah,
Some weeks
adrenaline.
ago, Flavor came out to talk about his own habits,
Yes.
which is very
Well,
particular.
Flavor has actually moved out from it.
Yes, he talks about, he called it an addiction,
Yeah.
not even a habit.
No, it's even, this one is addiction.
Yes.
He said
At
it will
what point
stop.
does a habit become an addiction?
When it is
When you could
practiced
not
over
stop.
time and you can't stop, it becomes an addiction. When you are seen doing it, it's a habit. But when it gets to a level where I had a friend in
Can
school.
no longer control
I had
it.
a friend in school who were smoking together. We were buying cigarettes together and all that. But one afternoon, I was going for lecture, 1 o'clock lecture, and I just quenched my cigarette before entering. This hall was full, and I was trying to take I was a young man of about 20. I was trying to take notes on a hard note, and I saw my hand was shaking. I asked myself, what is making your hand shake at this age? And I answered myself, it is the cigarette. So a whole packet of Benson, I told my friend, I said, do you want? Because I won't smoke again.
How many packets do you do in a day, though?
No, that's not your business. That was that time. I was talking about when I was 20.
Okay.
But the story is this. He said, no, boy, keep your cigarette. You need it. So I squeezed it in his presence. He was angry.
Shocked.
Do you know, after a while, when we have left school, he told me that he wanted to stop. Twice. He fell sick. So he felt that cigarette was part of his life. I said, that's a life for the pit of hell. Do you understand? There is nothing you start that you cannot stop. If we have institutions now that try to guide people out of drug abuse
Or addiction.
We
do have rehabilitation centers
in
Lagos, yeah.
If there are places like that, then
are.
you know it's possible.
No.
If it's not possible, they won't have something. So we want to advise, what's that your friend's name? Omale, wherever you are, please.
Try.
Artificial happiness is not the same as happiness.
Yes.
There is joy. Joy is different from happiness. Happiness comes from things. Joy comes from within.
But you know one thing I know for sure is that for the young folks especially, it applies to everyone, but especially for the young folks, there's this adrenaline, this vibe, this happiness that comes from knowing that you're doing something that a lot of people will frown at. Yeah. So for some, it actually gives them joy.
Non-conformist.
You understand? Okay, I have spoken with a married woman who was cheating on her husband once. And then when asked, why do you keep going back to it and saying you're sorry? She said she finds she enjoyed the one she's stealing. More than the one she's entitled to.
Water is sweet.
It's sweet. Yes, that's Proverbs. Yes, it's sweet.
So at the end, it makes your mouth full of
course, of course.
Wow. So I feel for the fact that it has actually come out at this time to talk about it. Then something is actually happening from his inside, which he doesn't even realize right now. Yes, that's coming out to say it. Yes, is another point that something is helping him from the inside. Yes, this is not good. And for the fact that it keeps having those instincts, that instinct telling him this is not good, I feel like I'm doing against the will and the law of the land. So it will definitely come out of it someday. It's just a matter of time.
If you talk about the will and the law of the land, meaning it's illegal in Nigeria, there's an artist, he travels, there are places that this is legal. Are you trying to say when he gets there?
But for the fact that it is something that is coming from the inside of him, something is happening. Already, yes.
And all our artists do.
Thank you for always coming with this gist then.
Thank you, Kira.
Thank you also.
And you're going to celebrate for us in the office.
It's past. What's past?
It's not past. It's already past. So you promise. Okay, let me keep that one.
Of course, we'll continue with our show when we come back. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Ezamaya mega gbati nukume ya Oziki Zaga. Small motor big engine Oziki Zaga. Yamaga da oboye nare amai Oziki Zaga. Timi ya kita ne permo Oziki Zaga. Moi. Ezamaya bimiana niwe fire siara mountain. Abani mine fire ye mama say madam. Zabina tane permo la uru. Yamaga da oboye nare.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are going over to business. Of course, Louisa Asidi is in the studio.
Good morning.
You're smiling good.
Yes.
How is business?
Business is good.
All right. So, what's your business script this morning?
Well, I have a few stories for you, but first of all, let's
It's
talk
money
about
making Monday.
money. Yes, let's talk about money. Now, in young investors, starting with a startling report, you see that more than half of young investors, mainly Gen Z, say they have taken money they have set aside for investing and spent it on sports betting instead. That's from a new survey by the US investing platform Betterment. And here's the part that really lands. About 1 in 4 of them now say that betting is a part of their long-term financial plans. More than 1 in 7 admit to betting several times a month. Now, to be fair, this is American data on young people who already invest. But you don't have to squint too hard to see Nigeria in it. Betting is woven into how a lot of young Nigerians pursue a better life for themselves. And the worry the researchers raise is a simple one. Betting can quickly start to feel like a reasonable long-term strategy. But sports betting is designed to keep you reaching for the next quick score, not to build your future. As Betterment's chief executive put it, when betting starts to feel like a retirement plan, we've got a real big problem. Because the house is patient, but as the saying goes, the house always wins. And now let's look at the stock market. Because here in Nigeria, this has become a remarkable year for stocks. The all-share index, the broad measure of the whole Nigerian exchange, is up more than 55% since January, and some smaller stocks went much further. Take Zinchis, an agricultural company. Its shares are up more than 800%, and that's backed by real profit growth. That means if someone invested 100,000 naira in Zinchis shares in January, it would be worth over 900,000 now. Other shares also posted extraordinary returns in the first half of the year, as COA in Nigeria started 2026 at 7 naira and 10 kobo and had climbed to over 23 naira by August 14, representing a gain of about 365%. And ROT Briscoe started the year at 3 naira and 50 kobo and rose to 11 naira 60 kobo, a gain of almost 232 naira. But there are also risks in buying shares. It is always best to speak to a broker about the downsides to equities investment before jumping in. So this isn't a tip to run out and buy anything. It's a reminder the market can build real wealth over time, but chasing last year's winner is its own kind of gamble. And finally, a story about survival. Across the country, thousands of small traders say a government crackdown is pushing them out of business. At issue, Nigeria's Food and Drug Regulator, NAFDAC, is enforcing a ban on those little sachets and small bottles of alcohol that are under 20 centimeters and seizing stock off shelves. This week, traders took to the streets in Ibadan. They say those sachets are their daily bread, the fastest moving, most reliable cash in the shop. Many took bank loans to stock up, and now they say they simply can't pay them back. One group put it plainly, don't punish our livelihoods for a problem we didn't create. They insist they don't sell to children. NAFDAC says it's doing its job. The ban is meant to curb cheap, easy access to alcohol, especially for the young. So this is a hard trade-off, a real public health goal on one side, and on the other, real families watching their shelves and their incomes empty out. Both of those things are true at the same time.
Lisa,
Yes.
you always come with these your stories. Let's start with the one of betting.
Okay.
I call it gambling.
Yes, it's gambling. Betting is like a
Right
sophisticated
from,
word.
right from when we were growing up, we see lottery. And I was worried when at the time the government of Delta State, had its own lottery and all that. The disadvantages for me, because it's a lazy mind that gambles. You want to multiply money in a very cheap and
Easy way.
very
To them, it's
Cheap
a
and
fast
easy
way,
way.
quick way.
nonsensical way.
Yes.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
But now,
To
as
you.
we speak, even housewives are now no.
That's why I said to you.
Because I preach
yes,
about
they
it
do.
in church. Even housewives are now involved in betting.
Yes.
You tune your TV, they are playing football, Naira Bet, Niger, Bet Niger,
All the bets.
Bet King. Then
Yes.
abroad, the same thing. Everybody's Saturday, they are looking forward to.
So their next betting scheme that they're going to
Is
do.
it not possible for government to ban betting? At whatever
doubt.
level?
I doubt because yes, betting has become like a big problem. Actually, for those, like I said before, they're seeing it as a retirement plan.
Which time? It's
it
an addiction.
healthy?
Yes, it's an addiction.
It's an
Yes,
addiction.
It's very, very unhealthy. But the government can't totally ban it.
Why?
Just like with the alcohol story now, those people,
Yes, the two of them they
their-
go together.
yeah, their livelihood, they are spent all their money on buying the
small
sachet
sachet.
alcohols and the small bottles of alcohols, and now you're telling them that no, they're no more allowed to sell it. What about the money they invested? And when you go over to betting, some people are like, okay, maybe I can easily get some quick cash. So they go. That's the mindset they use to go into betting. But for some people, it turns into
if
an
I want
addiction.
if I want to come in, I want to say yes. The economic situation of the country is actually, pushing some persons into this seeing betting. Just imagine young people seeing betting as an investment plan
investment,
to
yes.
secure their future. Where do they get that mentality from? If actually, sometimes when you actually go into this bet, you make from it, but your losses are
Do they
more.
win?
Yes.
And the
Your
losses
your
are more.
losses are
Yeah,
more, but
that's
but
In the long run.
but sometimes when they win, you see they win big.
They
so
win big.
they are not trying to say it as a future life
Livelihood.
saving.
That's the
So
psychological
that's
effect.
the psychological
Yes.
effect
Wow.
of it.
Of
But it is
betting.
very unhealthy.
When you get money cheaply,
it is very unhealthy,
you likely
and also
estimate and you quickly lose it.
Yes, that's
Yes.
the thing.
When they
are
win
like,
that big, we are talking about, they spend big.
Yes.
Because the first is to go to the store and then
Yes.
you declare for your
get a
friends,
car.
drink
No,
beer.
you get a very
maybe
luxury
there's some
luxury car
money.
that it's so expensive because the money actually came very cheap.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Okay, I
understand?
want to link
Now-
it. Success. I want to link
Okay.
something to something you said, and that's also bringing in Uzo. That's talking about the aspect that you said. The house always wins.
Yes.
The house is patient,
Yes,
but it
it's very,
always
very
wins.
patient, but it
So
always
I
wins.
find this is a trap.
Yes, it is
Well,
a trap.
That's
It
it.
is.
Where now the young man goes to the betting house, he places the bets, and then he goes again and again and, again
that's
and
the
again.
psychological effect.
And then they
That's-
wait.
that-
Maybe
that is the trap.
At the tenth attempt, they allow
He
him
wins
win
smart.
something.
Win.
Now, that is the house being patient and then dragging you in.
Yeah.
But a lot of these young persons do not know
don't know.
that it's a trick. And they say, "Woo, I won today, and then they celebrate and all of
They
that.
celebrate, they win
So
again.
this
they
brings
continue
But they know
winning.
you're going to come
Yes.
back like 20 more times because that attracted you, pulled you in. So some go to the extent of going out there to borrow money, to take loans.
And then
Taking
they
the
use
wage.
maybe
Just
their
to put it
houses,
there.
their cars as
I have
collateral at
seen
the end of the
someone,
day.
I have seen a young man. He's in so much debt as we speak.
Okay.
Why? Because he kept going back, taking money, borrowing money.
Borrowing
In some
money.
instances, do you know he had to place his laptop as collateral to borrow money just to gamble, just for
to
this
gamble.
betting we're
Yes.
talking
And do
about.
you
So
know that
this-
this also leads
yes.
to this habit of drinking?
Yes.
Because
It does when you're frustrated.
when you go and find out that, because their number is always cut. You say it cut by one number.
Yeah.
When
One
it
number
cuts,
cuts.
then they go and collect a small alcohol,
Sachet.
try to calm themselves
Consolation.
down.
Calm
And then by the
down,
time
so
it's
they're
Monday,
there.
they're already smart and say, this time I will show them.
I will show them. And then they end
So
up
now
losing
this,
again.
yes, this brings
And then they
us
go back
back
to the
to
drinks.
this brings us back to our economy.
Yes.
So talking about the government putting a ban to betting and all, if you make the economy work for the citizens, I don't think someone will want to
nobody
think
will want to
of
think
going
of
into
betting.
betting.
No, I don't agree with that, Luisa, because
True, yeah,
everything
I
is
do
a habit.
agree with
It's
it.
like somebody saying that when the economy is fixed, you won't have thieves again. It's a spirit.
Yes.
We've
There
had
are
very
those-
rich
it's
persons.
if you are
But
a
it's
thief-
good
It's
in a
gonna
way.
come
If
So
you're
they
a
won't
thief,
steal
you're a
like
thief.
a retirement plan.
Because even when you
anymore.
have plenty, you can still look for what to steal. There are thieves. After they have stolen something, they begin to think, what do I do with this thing that I've stolen? Some people will steal
It doesn't
phone.
stop them
That's
from
like
They will
stealing
start-
kleptomaniac. They
they
want
will-
to keep on stealing.
No,
and stealing.
kleptomania is different. A thief will steal a phone from you and then just discover that I don't really need this phone now. Sister, can I dash you this phone? Can I?
That's what she's saying.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm saying.
kleptomania.
That's a
That's-
kleptomania.
that's-
You just have
Yes.
that passion to
That
steal.
is
Like you
to
just
take.
want to
One
steal.
thinking about.
But you don't even
Even
know
when
why
you don't
they
even
do.
need it, you are just collecting and collecting and collecting. That, I
Well,
think,
for me, I will advise everybody and parents to educate their children.
yes,
You
it
know,
should.
the Bible says, the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. There's dignity in
Even
labor.
if what
Yes.
he eats is small.
Any money you work for, you value it.
You value it. You
But
know
the
how
one
to
that
spend
comes boa like that, or it's a dash, you
Ah.
put it in the front pocket and you go into a bar
And then you start
you
spending
clear
it
it
and
because
spending it.
another will come.
That's the same
It's
thing with
delusional.
this gambling. You keep on winning. You
delusional.
get to a point you lose, and you're like, don't worry, next time I'll win again. And you go back, you lose again, and you keep on losing until you find out that you have
Until you
become
lose your
addicted
life.
and you lose your life.
Because some take their life when they see
Yes,
that
when
they
it's
have
too
borrowed
much.
so much and
Yeah.
they cannot pay.
And the debt will now be carried over to their next of kin, their family.
Well, if
Which
they,
is so
if they
bad.
have, some of them don't usually get married. Some
No,
gamblers.
some are married.
Some gamblers
Some are
don't
married,
take-
some their
No,
parents
even
could
some
be their
are
next
really
of
married,
kin.
yes.
Okay,
Now, on the issue of alcohol,
Yes.
it's possible to ban them. You may not start by seizing the ones on the shelf,
On the shelves.
but you can clamp down on the producers.
Production.
Yes,
Exactly,
that's what
exactly.
When you
That's-
clamp
that's
down
very
on
that's
the
the better
producers,
way.
gradually, when they sell
Stock.
off that,
They run out of stuff.
they run out of stock.
run out
That's
of
better.
stock.
Okay,
But
so-
to think
okay.
that it's fatalistic, we don't have anything we can do about it. It's not right. Because
Actually,
Okay.
the danger is much.
I have a friend, a couple, actually, a husband and wife. So they were going to relocate out of Delta State, and their plan was they are going to go into this alcohol, the sachet, the tiny bottles, and all of that. So they have a car, and they're going to use that, the space box, I beg your pardon. They're going to use that to, convey and then distribute. So they had a distribution route planned out. They had everything planned out. And then they discovered that NAFDAC was about to clamp down. And so they had to back off and look for another
thank
business.
God for
Exactly.
that.
I'm
So
just
that's
so
nice,
happy for them
yes.
that
They
they
were
didn't go
lucky.
into the
Some
business.
Very,
weren't
very
so
good.
lucky.
Yes,
Some
so
they
aware.
are not so lucky because they have, like
They
I
don't
said
have
before, they have
good
invested. They have a
information.
lot of it. So how are they going to sell it off? It's a loss on them.
They have to now. This brings us to talking about agriculture and Z cheese, right?
Yes.
You said Z cheese. So tell us about the agriculture shares and the Z cheese.
You know,
What are Z cheese?
Is actually an agricultural industry, and you know
Okay.
the beautiful thing about agriculture, it never fades out.
No.
Yes, it doesn't
It never
Food
fades
production
out.
is an ever constant industry.
ever.
Yes, it's a constant industry. So with the continual growth of the agricultural industry, that is the reason why ZH's had the highest stock
Okay, so
improvement on the Nigerian
Z
exchange.
cheese is like a company.
Is an agricultural company.
Okay,
Okay,
It's an
okay.
agri-based
agricultural company.
Are they into processing or
Yeah.
just produce?
Produce, processing,
Okay.
and all those things. Like I said before, the beautiful thing about agriculture is that it doesn't fade out. See our economy. We're focusing mostly on the oil and gas sector. Before, what was our major sector? Agriculture. And we're striving.
Yes.
We're striving. If we could mix that agriculture back again with our oil and gas, do you know how far we'd grow?
We need a lot of reorientation as a country. A lot of reorientation to make us, because these drifts, this crave for white collar job, it has been there over the years. So our mind has been geared towards go to school, get certificate, get job in the city, and then minister to your family. But now it is the people in the village that make more money.
Yes.
And they are refusing to accept that they have money. They still want you, your 150,000 naira, to send them 50,000 naira every month because they don't have. Meanwhile, they are there into palm oil production, making a lot of money. Some of them into curry production. So it's maybe government can look for a way to modernize agriculture, make it more attractive. Now we have things that they do now. They tell you if you use the cement bag, plant yam round about your compound,
in your
you
house.
get plenty of yam.
Yes.
I think we should look into those areas. I don't know, it's a bit tedious to rear chicken. But
it's not actually.
It
depends. If you understand the nitty-gritty.
I'm allergic to farming.
Why is that? No, why is that? Why should you be allergic to farming?
I was in the village. I'm a lazy person. I was in the village. We're all boys, and of course, all my brothers were taken to the city, and I was left alone. So
you've had
one day I was in the bush, and my father told me the estate I was to clear. I tried. So I looked up one day. I said, I can't do this. I was there in the midst of grasses. I said, no. I looked up. I said, God, you take me out of this village.
And that's where mechanization comes in.
Even if it's mechanized, people come to my compound and say, you have a good space there, you can do a lot of things. I say, come and do, I won't do. He said, you can plant cassava, it will be like flour. I said, no, I won't do. So I'm allergic to farming. That's what
I think
but do you know that you can actually do it in your compound, but you pay someone?
Yes, you pay someone to help.
You engage labor. You pay them. Okay, when it's time for weeding, you pay the person to weed.
Is like they say in an adage in my place that what you don't eat, don't use your teeth to divide it for others. So I don't just. I like
to stay away.
I like farm produce when it is already produced.
When it's already produced,
but you don't want to take part in the process.
I'm not interested. All right, Luisa, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I like your stories. They are always human interests.
It's not so hard today.
How it affect us, and then the soft landing.
Yes.
The way out, and of course a little cancer here and there.
Yeah.
So, viewer, you have heard from Luisa. Please, let's see how we stay away from betting. It has not helped anybody. I've not seen anybody
don't take it
that
as a
built an industry from betting. I've not seen anybody that became humongously rich, if there's anything like that, from betting. It's always one number cutting. Even the languages they use, fixed odds. Odds cannot be fixed now. So, PEM 1 from 5. I don't understand all those things.
Odds.
You are stay out of trouble, stay out of alcohol, stay out of betting. It will help your life. Go and work with your hands, earn your money, value your money, dispense of it wisely, and then, of course, you become rich. When we come back, we'll go to another conversation. Thank you for being there. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak. Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Ezamaya mega gbadinu kumemea Ozigi Zaga Small motor big engine Ozigi Zaga Kemega da oboye nare amai Ozigi Zaga Timi ya kita ne permo Ozigi Zaga Otunibility Moi Ezamaya bimiana ni Abani mi na kwaya ye mama say no do. Zambi na trane tolomula uru. Yamaga ida kwe na riya.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 17th has hosted several important events that shaped Nigeria's political, security, and social landscape. One notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha dissolved the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and appointed a sole administrator amid growing labor agitation for the restoration of democracy. Also on this day in 1941, former military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, was born in Minna, Niger State. He later ruled Nigeria from 1985 to 1993. In another significant event, 85 Nigerians kidnapped by Boko Haram were rescued by Chadian troops in 2014 after being taken across the border into Chad. Interestingly, August 17th connects two major figures from Nigeria's military era. Ibrahim Babangida was born on this date in 1941, while his former second-in-command, Augustus Aikomu, died on the same date 70 years later. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 17th significant in Nigerian history.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, you and I know that the dominant discourse today is the Osun State elections that saw the re-election of incumbent Governor Ademola Adeleke. There were a lot of build-ups to that election, fatalities, a lot of restrictions here and there. Of course, we had to ship most of our commissioners of police and DIGs to Osun State. And the impression was that the whole place was edgy, the whole place was tight, the whole place was... But somehow, from what we have seen, the people turned out, election has held, and result announced in good time. What does that say of our democracy building up to 2027 elections? That's the discussion we are going into now. And of course, we have somebody who was on ground, somebody who was an interest party because that's his environment, talking about Dr. Ayodeji Ologun, all the way from Osogbo. We'll be linking up with him on Zoom to give us his first-hand impression of what transpired. Dr. Ayo, good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too.
How
Good
are you
morning,
today?
Dr. Ayo.
Good morning. I'm doing
All
great.
right. We are talking about Osun State elections. Looking at your face, I can see that we are all eased up because there was so much tension before the election. Now, as somebody who was on ground at Osogbo, tell us the transition from the day before the election to the day after the election when the results were announced. How did it go?
Well, thank you very much. I recall I was on your TV station the day before the election,
Yeah.
and we had a very useful discussion about the atmosphere, of course, what the expectations were. And of course, here we are. The election has come and gone. We are here to review what transpired. A day before the election, there were a lot of apprehension. There were a lot of concerns by the people of what the day of election would look like. There was what is called near militarization of the street a day before election. Hardly could you drive a kilometer or less before you meet a checkpoint where security officials were asking questions. And when I drove around at midnight, at 12 midnight on the day of election, I was still on the street. The old city, the state capital was deserted. I think it was a war zone. Nobody came out, the bars closed, everywhere were shut down. And then you begin to wonder whether it is election or it's war. And personally, I became apprehensive. Oh, that if the midnight or the night before the election were this dry, what would be the outcome? Or what is it going to look like? But we woke up to a very beautiful turnout of people on the day of election. This is the election where we had the largest turnout of voters in the history of elections in Osun State, contrary to expectations, contrary to concern. People trooped out. We had slightly less than 1 million voters in this last election, which is a departure from what is used to be. The highest number of votes in previous election has always been slightly less or above 600,000. But this is an election where we saw almost 1 million voters. In this It's not the best, but it's still the highest and the best in the year of election. People showed resilience. People showed commitment. People showed that the power of democracy is actually in the thumb of the voters. And that's exactly what they displayed by turning out in their hundreds of thousands across the nooks and crannies of the state to carry out their franchise, to determine who leads Osun State going forward. It's a big applause. It's a big thumbs up to the people, how resolute they are, despite the pre-election violence, despite the threats, despite the agitations. The people contradicted predictions by turning out on the day of election to vote. And of course, the vote did count. So we must give it to them. And then, of course, INEC also did extremely well. Maybe not 100%, but it's a far departure of what people were expecting will happen in that election. INEC conducted themselves in the most probable manner. They played by the rules substantially, and it made the whole election so seamless. People were not expecting the election result to turn in to be declared by 7:45 a.m. yesterday morning. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Oyo-Ekiti already declared and returned who the new governor of Osun State would be. That is the fastest in recent time. And that shows the readiness and the commitment on the part of INEC towards a free, credible, and acceptable election.
Look, Dr. Ayo, as somebody who has been on ground, you mentioned something which was also reported before the election, how that the turnout for elections has been dropping. You know, the number of voters have been dropping in the past 3 years before now, and fears were expressed. Can you just quickly tell us what could have been responsible? Just mere apathy or fear of the unknown? What made the voter turnout to be dropping by the year until this year?
Well, over the years, I've been an election observer for close to about 20 years, and I think since the commencement of the Fourth Republic, there's been no election in Osun State that I've not personally witnessed and observed. What has been responsible for decline in the number of voters in previous election is this feeling on the part of the people that their votes don't really count. There's always been this belief that, oh, the politicians have decided who they want to give it to. They've decided who the winner will be. So on the day of election, people become so docile that they don't even want to come out on the day of election. They become so docile that on the day of election, you will see the streets deserted and the roads turned into football pitch by young people. You will see the old men and women sitting behind their compounds playing games. Some of them seated in their couches watching the TV. That has always been the case. But in this election, people believed that their votes, which is the main tenet of democracy, would count. They were resolute in voting. They were resolute in making their vote count, and they were resolute in defending that vote. And that determines, or that explains the shift between what it used to be, the decline. In the last election, or maybe we should just run down the drain, but if my record serves me right, in the 2020, in the election that produced former Governor Oyetola, the highest number of votes we had was 2% of registered voters voted in that election. In the election that produced Demola Adeleke as the governor for the first time in 2023 or thereabouts, we had 36% total number of voters. But in this election of yesterday, what we witnessed was 58% of voters turned out in Saturday's election to vote. So that shows you the decline that we've witnessed before now, and of course the sudden surge upwards in the decision and the interest of the people in the electoral process is commendable, and we hope that it gets sustained.
Okay, I want to commend the people of Osun State coming out to, cast their vote for their preferred candidate and bringing, democracy back to, Osun State. So yes, we could see voters and residents, celebrating the victory of their candidates in the person of Governor Ademola Adeleke returning for a second term. So could we say this is true democracy returning back to our dear country and have, votes of citizens count, come 2027 election?
I think we must be very careful in the choice of words. We must be very careful in the perception that we create. Democracy never left. What we've witnessed since 1990 now has been democracy. Democracy is an evolution. It's evolving. It's only getting better. What we saw on Saturday, which was just about 48 hours ago in Osun State, it is not a return of democracy. It's just an improvement in the process of democracy. Because you will recall that the election that produced Oyetola in 2022 or thereabout was said to be inconclusive. That was the first time we're having that diction in our democratic language, inconclusive election. Of course, we had an improvement in the election that followed, that produced the Demola Adeleke, where we had a conclusive election and we had the margin of vote to be about 34,000 or thereabout. And of course, what we saw yesterday or day before yesterday was an improvement on the status of election in the state, which now brought us to a situation whereby people are resolute that contrary to brute force, contrary to what is called the federal might or the federal power, contrary to attempts to create fear and panic in the mind of the people, people showed readiness, they showed resoluteness in wanting to defend their vote, in wanting to defend democracy, and they ensured that is done to produce the candidate of their choice. And let me tell you, contrary to opinion, people should not, it's still a democracy. Somebody is to win, somebody is to lose. People do not love Oyebanji less. That's Ambo. They don't love him less. Because if you know what it means, the total number of votes that produced the governor of Ekiti is just about slightly above 300,000. So for Oyebanji to poll about 444,000 votes in Osun State, even though he lost to he lost to Adeleke, that shows you that he's also very, very loved. If he's not loved, if he's not acceptable to the people, he would not have returned well over 400,000 votes. Of course, people love Adeleke more. And that is what produced that result.
Okay, if you want to say that, but we could also tell that we've seen some, situations during election period whereby people come out to vote and we hear that, okay, our votes are no longer counting. And this is also reducing the people's confidence of coming out to vote. And also, we could also see heavy presence of security, personnel out there. Don't you think if this actually continues for other future electoral processes, is this still, going to encourage citizens to come out to vote and our votes will still count?
We must put into cognizance the fact that the election in Osun is was an off-season election. It does not fall within the calendar of it does not fall within the electoral calendar, the one that the nation follows. Osun, Ekiti, and Odo, and a couple of other states have what we call off-season election. So the reason why we could have that high deployment of security officials to Osun State in the last election is because of the peculiarity of that election. It's off-season, so there is concentration. There is no way during the general election we could have such concentration of security officials.
Yeah.
It's not possible because all these security officials will be shared across all the states of the federation. So every state will take care of itself. So we almost understand that the deployment of security officers to Osun State in the last election was not to scare the people, is to rather encourage them to come out as a means of reassuring them that contrary to killings and maimings and what have you before the election, the government of the country is committed to protecting them. And that is what we witnessed. The high presence of security officials, even though it was traumatizing before the election, turned out to be a plus, turned out to be an advantage on the day of election because people saw that as a morale boost, as a confidence boost to come out on the day of election, knowing fully well that there are police officers and other security agencies to protect them. We might not witness that in another election, but it's a plus and it's a sign that people are becoming much more confident in the process of election across the country.
All right, Dr. Ologun, I want to also tap into your experience during the election, what you witnessed and what you observed on ground as an eyewitness. Would you say that we had a lot of violence, although the news reaching us shows that there were some skirmishes in some places, some violence in some places. We even heard of polling units where they had to use tear gas for some reason over some people. And then looking at the build-up before the election, some days before the election, we also saw the police arresting someone they call an APC candidate or official who was caught with gun and all of that. So based on what you observed during the election, while the election was going on, would you say that the violence that happened is better? We have a better situation compared to what we used to have before now during elections?
Well, I am a stakeholder in the Australian election, and I was part, for days before election, I was on ground. I was part of meetings with the INEC chairman, meeting with the INEC rec, the commissioner of police, and of course, all the heads of agencies involved in the election. And I can tell you for a fact that some of these things that you witnessed or that you saw in the news are not the exact representation of what transpired before and during the election. For example, this is one election where we have had the least violence in all the off-season election in the country. Of course, there were portals of violence around, but compared to what the record has shown, there were less violence in this election than before. In the case of a polling unit where you said that was not the case. Incidentally, I was at that polling unit when that happened. Tear gas was not used to chase voters. It was a police officer who was trying to ease himself. And in the process of loosening his uniform to have himself eased, indeliberately detonated the tear gas, the tear gas canister, that blue canister attached to the uniform. He unintentionally had it deployed on the day of election. And then, of course, when such happens, people begin to feel it around, eyes turning red and all of that. So that was exactly what happened. It was a situation of mishandling of tear gas canister by a police officer. Not that tear gas were shot at voters. We must get that clear for the record. And in the case of violence on the day of election, apart from a place in Ejigbo, where the candidate of the ADC, that's former Speaker of the House of Assembly, Najim Salam, was to vote. Of course, violence broke up at that polling unit and it was whisked into safety. That incident happened. I witnessed another in Nede. I think I witnessed one in Bagon, except for a couple of these, well, not so important instances. Generally speaking, peace reigned supreme in that election. There was no record of violence compared to predictions. And that's very important. Well, maybe when in the course of this discussion, we'll talk about lessons or what I saw that could serve as lessons to the stakeholders, security, and the rest of them.
Thank you, Dr. Ayodeji Ologun, for being with us and giving us first-hand information. We want to say congratulations to you for the good job you're doing. Congratulations to Nigeria. Congratulations to the people of Osun State, because the fears we had, they have all been allayed by how the election came out successfully. We don't know how much we scored it over 10, over 100, but we know it was successful. Thank you and have a wonderful day. We
Thank
have
you
cause to
so
do
much,
with your
Thank you
Dr.
very
time.
much
Mayo.
for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
Thanks
Bye
for
for
having me.
now. All right, Jiwa, that was a conversation with Dr. Ayodeji Ologun on it was a first-hand witness of what transpired at the Oshu election. And he has told us that everything went well by every standard. Whatever is being reported, we're just minimal compared to what people expected. That's where we end it now. When we come back, we'll go to other conversations. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Ezamaya mega gbati nukume bea Oziki Zaga Small motor big engine Oziki Zaga Yamega da okoye nare amai Oziki Zaga Timi ya kita ne permo Oziki Zaga
Continuity. Moi.
Ezamaya bimiana nimi wekwa ya siyara mate Abani mine kwaya ye mama say madam Zabina tane permo la uru Yamega da okoye nare
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 17th has hosted several important events that shaped Nigeria's political, security, and social landscape. One notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha dissolved the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and appointed a sole administrator amid growing labor agitation for the restoration of democracy. Also on this day in 1941, former military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, was born in Minna, Niger State. He later ruled Nigeria from 1985 to 1993. In another significant event, 85 Nigerians kidnapped by Boko Haram were rescued by Chadian troops in 2014 after being taken across the border into Chad. Interestingly, August 17th connects two major figures from Nigeria's military era. Ibrahim Babangida was born on this date in 1941, while his former second-in-command, Augustus Aikomu, died on the same date 70 years later. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 17th significant in Nigerian history. I am Peace Mokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we look at the political situation. We just moved away from Osun. I want to look at the other parts of the country. We know that in the wake of the dominance of the APC and, of course, the dynamics that has followed, they are coming to power since 2023. No, since the time of Buhari. There have been other parties that want to also gain access to the center, and a coalition is being envisioned. But we see that most of these parties, they just have issues within. Even the APC has issues. Now, that is what we're going to be discussing, our parties, our politics today. Where is our democracy? Just a rabble-rousing on all these issues. And we have somebody we can call an elder, a political elder in Delta State here, talking about Mr. Dele Ajufo, who happens to be the chairman of National Democratic Congress,
Nigeria.
the Elders Council in Delta State here. Sir, you're welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, let's start this way. People tout your party, especially because of your principal going to the election. That is a party in the social media, that you're not on ground. Let's start from there.
I don't see why the media should keep advancing this narrative.
That's why you are here.
Party not on ground.
That's why you are here.
Wait a minute. Here is Peter Obi,
yes,
a man with philosophy, touted not to have a councillor, not a member of the House of Reps or Assembly, no governor, who in 2023 garnered 6-point-something million votes.
Yeah.
He didn't have structure. We believe it was rigged out because he won the election.
Okay.
We have records of results from Rivers State, Kaduna State, Plateau State, Benue State, where figures were fictitiously manipulated. But of course, you know what happened. Go to court was the mantra then.
Yes.
And we know what the court is in Nigeria. No, yes, we didn't have structure, but today we are more galvanized, and I can assure you they won't get away with it.
Yes, I avoided using the word structure. Being on ground means having an office, having membership across the state, from the national to the states to the wards. Offices where people can walk into and say, this NDC office. That's what I meant, not talking about structure, of course. Structure is about human beings, the level of coordination. Now, do you have offices?
Let me stop you there, please.
State?
Yeah. Yesterday, I inaugurated NDC Secretariat in Ibuzo.
Okay.
Not even a local government headquarters. It's a massive duplex.
Okay.
With complement of staff. Yesterday, Sunday. Okay. And we have the same thing in Akukwibo.
All right.
We have the same thing in Ila. We have in Okpanam where we have our candidate. This is fallacy.
No. Let's take it down the state. All the places you have mentioned now are in Oshimili North.
Yes.
Can you tell us about other
states?
Just
giving you I'm giving you an example of where I am in control. Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do. I can give you the names of all our representatives.
Can you attempt some? Let's hear some of them.
Like in
because you are an elder.
Like in Asaba here. We have one in just off. What is the name of this? Off Ibuzo Road. I was there yesterday.
No, of course you must have in Asabasa. Let's trickle down to other places.
You see, there's a danger in trying to enumerate all the secretariats. Even APC cannot do that.
But you have.
Not even in England can the Conservative Party or Labour Party tell you, today we have offices in Windsor or in Hemel Hempstead or anywhere. No, but
I'm
we do.
I'm offering you opportunity to clear
No,
the air.
we do.
So I'm not saying you should list all of them, but you have to clear the air that you have.
We do have them.
Okay.
And not only do we have the offices, we have representatives.
Okay.
We do. People who are committed to the philosophy of this man, who has become an embodiment of Awolowo and Zik combined.
Okay.
You understand?
Now,
yeah, we do. I can assure you.
Now let's look at the issue of candidacy.
Yes.
At a point, some parties, let me not say your party, were having issues accessing the INEC portal. Was your party one of them?
Oh,
and
yes.
How did you overcome that challenge?
Oh, yes, we were. But
are all your candidates now uploaded?
We have most of our candidates as at last Friday, all of them uploaded. It's an arduous task, and that's because INEC is not quite ready. I can assure you. All this talk about INEC being prepared for election, it's a madhouse. You understand? It's a madhouse. But we hope to streamline them. We hope to hold them where it hurts to make sure they do the right thing.
Okay.
Yes, they're doing it now.
Okay. I would like to bring your attention back to what just happened on Saturday, what transpired in Osun State. Does it build your confidence? You know that before now, we have a lot of people questioning the integrity of the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amoputon, saying that he is already, subjective, biased. Yes. People have that opinion.
We believe, I'm part of the school of thought that said that Amoputon is very biased.
Why do you say that?
He's part of the legal team that supported APC in the last election. How unbiased can he be? The media owes a duty to Nigerians to expose these shortcomings in our political system. If I am supporting somebody today and tomorrow I'm made an umpire, how unbiased will I be? I'm asking you, the media should do it. You see, the media is failing Nigerians. All of you in the media.
Okay.
Nixon was brought down by...
And you think we'll accept that? We are doing our job.
You think you're doing your job?
We are.
You bite a little and run away.
No, we don't run away.
You don't hold
like I'm holding you to account now. I could be looking at your face and say, oh, this and that.
I don't hold any responsibility.
But I'm telling you,
I don't hold any
where do you have offices? I'm doing my work.
That's a simple question.
Okay.
I don't hold any authority. I don't hold any responsibility to affect the lives of our people.
Okay.
Let me take you back to Watergate,
All
the
right.
Woodward issue. Newspaper men brought down Richard Nixon. I'm sure you're aware of it. They held on to a story. They did not lay off. Today we have somebody whose house was found for the $3 million as soon as Shekari blessed memory. Buhari came to power.
Yes.
He's an ambassador today. You have a governor who has a case of 108 billion naira hanging on his head. He's parading himself as a prospective.
And you think that the press is not talking about
nothing
it?
is being
We
done.
are. Okay, you are talking about Watergate, faraway country. What about the issue of fake agency? Is the media not reporting every bit of
How
it?
far has it gone?
We are still on it.
No, wait a minute. How far has it gone?
We are still on it.
They are hounding the man who took an office in the federal secretariat. How possible is that? If there is no in-house authority.
But
that's why the
press is
investigation
talking
is
about
how
all
much
this.
investigation have you done? You've already exonerated Bajabi Amila, haven't you?
No.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Did.
The press did.
Nobody did.
You're not on.
Nobody
You're not on. I like what I've seen here.
Yes. We are here.
I hope you're going to be better than the rest.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
if you're not, we'll come after you
we
too.
say it the way it is now, because you see, people think that the press can just confront government, hold them in the jugular. We report what we see and we form opinion.
That's your job.
That's what I'm saying.
Confront the government.
You are confronting people that have power. So what you do, you report every bit, and
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, sir.
Why is it possible that in this country there's a case in court and people are always asking the president to intervene? Where is the independence of the judiciary?
Okay.
No, is it the press asking? Is it the press asking the people to
You should
intervene?
stop it. The president has no business interfering in judicial matters.
Is it the press that says that?
But
or
really,
people say
it's
that?
not the press.
I'm making a statement that you should help us stop that thing.
Our job is to report, not to be opinionated, not to be confrontational.
But Mr. Henry,
I disagree with you.
sir,
You have an opinion.
How?
Press molds opinion to influence voters.
We mold opinion by
Yes.
what we report. People form their opinion by themselves. We don't.
okay,
form
so
opinion.
we caught it midway. I have not asked my question yet.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. The question I was going.
He's too fast to.
The question I was going ahead to ask is, looking at that opinion that people had before now of Professor Joash Amokbiton being a bit biased, according to the public opinion, not me now, and looking at what played out, and what played out on Saturday in Osun State, which a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians have already judged it to be, fantastic, and is giving us hope ahead of 2027 elections. Now, looking at it from the NDC perspective as an elder in the party, would you say that how the election script played out in Osun State is giving you hope that there might be, objectivity, there might be freedom,
Not even might, there will be.
sincerity come 2027 elections?
The only thing that played out in Osun was the people's power prevailed.
Okay.
And we hope that people's power will prevail come 2027.
Okay.
If the will of the people was not allowed to persist in Osun State, the result would have been different. I'm sure you had stories about pockets of areas where people tried to manipulate results and the people resisted.
Stop them, yeah.
We are not asking anybody to interfere. If we go into a free and fair election and the opposition wins, I will be the first to congratulate them.
Yeah.
I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
I've been in politics for close to 60 years.
You can see.
You understand? And I know what it is to be free. I know what it is like to go into an election and you lose and you offer a handshake to the other person.
Yeah.
You understand? We are losing touch with reality. What I expect in 2027 is that when I lose and I'm contesting an election with you as a member of the House of Assembly in Oshimili, not local government, I'll come to you and say, well done, Muchap. Please do well when you get there. It's not a do or die affair.
Definitely.
So giving hope to us, why should he give hope? Why should we be excited that Adeleke won? The people's will was allowed to prevail. And people are saying, oh, the man declared support for Tinubu. It's a diplomatic statement. I mean, already APC is mulling going into tribunal for what? And because of this system of judiciary we have in this country, there's no freedom of the judiciary. There's no independence. So self-preservation is the first order in this situation.
Yes.
Until we come there to power.
What do you have to say concerning the statement the governor made that he is declaring support for the president?
That's what I'm just saying, my dear. You didn't listen to me. It's a diplomatic statement. What do you expect him to say?
Yeah.
He just won an election, and these people are very vindictive. They control the military, they control the judiciary, they control the police, and they're going to to the tribunal. They still control the tribunal.
Yeah, the courts.
So the man has to.
But how do you see it, sir, considering that the APC said they are still studying the election results,
have they studied?
meaning they have not
They're
accepted.
they're
but
losers.
the president has already congratulated the winner of the election.
Listen, let me tell you, I give APC something. They are good publicists.
Yes.
They have good publicists. They hired somebody in America to do publicity for them to bring Buhari. They're still retaining him and they pay millions of dollars. You should be doing that kind of job for them, but they don't trust you.
Yeah, they won't trust
So
you.
they have good publicists.
Okay.
And all this thing they're doing is based on the advice of it. But we can match them also. We'll be there.
Let's handle this serious issue. One of the things plaguing the opposition, all of them, is fragmentation. And their cry is that it is the ruling party that is, interfering, encroaching, breaching, so that it's the divide and rule kind of thing. Why can't we have internal democracy in our parties? Why is it so difficult for a party to even bring out a candidate? Why is it so difficult? Why fragmentations?
Ego.
Okay.
Ego. If it's not me, it's not going to be anybody else.
Okay.
I just told you I'm going into a meeting in the next 20 minutes. Reconciliation. That's why we have the Elders Council.
Okay.
We're trying to bring our children together and let them see it.
Are they listening to you?
Oh, they are. We did some yesterday and it was very successful.
Okay.
We are coming to explain to them that it must not be you. You can also serve from elsewhere. You don't have to be there to serve.
You don't have to be the principal to serve.
If you want to cook a pot of stew, you don't have to be the one to turn the stew.
Yeah.
You can
You
be
could
the one that
prepare the
provides the pepper.
vegetables. That cut the onions.
Absolutely. But let us wait. Somebody has to be there to add these ingredients together to make it palatable.
Okay.
And that is the stewardship we want.
Are you sure it's only ego that is causing the fraction? Because
mostly ego,
and
it's influenced by inducement.
That there is this interference.
We know those who are.
Is it correct or is just a political speaking?
Well, listen. If you know the Prime Minister of Britain today, the previous Prime Minister Ken Starmer, refused him participation in an election before that, where they had a by-election for Labour, because he knew he was a threat to him. When there was a position in Wakersfield and the population wanted the man to contest, leaving his position as mayor of Manchester, as soon as he won the election, Ken Starmer threw in the towel. You understand?
Yeah.
When the will of the people is paramount,
accepted and don't have.
That's not, you can't stop. It's like a moving train.
Okay.
So if, no matter the fragmentation, when the population agrees and falls behind somebody, you have no choice.
Okay.
You don't have a choice. And our choice is P2B. And P2B is doing his best. The man has changed in a few days. He's going from place to place trying to bring people together. You understand? People don't see it. But we tell him, Okuta, please take it easy.
Okuta is stone now, so he doesn't take it easy.
Peter the Rock. That's his
Okuta
name.
is strong now.
Are you a Christian? You must know the story of Peter in the Bible. Peter the Rock.
I am.
You understand? So we are doing our best. But I can assure you, this APC government is gone. Because it's the people against APC. Nigerians are angry.
Now let's come from this angle now. We always have foreigners, the West especially, coming to monitor our election. From your opinion, you say you have been part of politics for about 60 years now. Do you think really that this monitoring is not to ensure that their interest of holding us down as a people? What is the content of this
even in America,
election
even in America,
yes,
there's an interest that influences election.
Okay.
The Jewish bloc, for instance, is a very powerful bloc. The Islamic bloc is growing, but the Jewish bloc influences choices of candidates in the American electoral process.
And they hold key positions there.
Yes. And their interest is protected. So if they're protecting their interest, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as it does not undermine the interest of my people.
No, the interest of the people is undermined after all, because what is there is...
They have investments in this country.
They tend to support a candidate that they can use to manipulate the people, to get who they want and then get what they want out of the country.
The resources of the society.
The resources of the people.
And that is what we are trying to address. Okay. The resources of the people must be made to pay and play for the people.
Yeah.
I went through Delta quite ago that that's what gas being flared. We don't have power. How do you see it? That gas put in through a turbine can provide unquantifiable amount of energy,
apart from energy,
for Delta
foreign
State
exchange,
and beyond.
Foreign exchange even.
And Lesotho in Abia State does not receive 1/4 the resources you receive in Delta State. And the money coming to Delta State is being frittered away. There's nothing to show for it. The road in Anyoma area of Delta State is so deplorable. And the government is telling you they're doing well. They failed woefully. And we'll highlight it when the campaign starts. We'll take you around. If you want to join the train, come, we'll show you. People go to school, there are no seats. Roofs are leaking in Delta State.
These stories have always been there. You know, in the time of, sorry, we are calling names. One governor was in this state and they called him the roadmaster. And now when he left, no roads again. We're not seeing
My dear,
roads.
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Okowa. And as far as I'm concerned, Okowa is a traitor to Delta State. He's a traitor to the southern people.
How?
Here is the man who hosted a meeting in this state, ostensibly agreeing that no southerner should support a northern candidate. He turned and became a vice presidential candidate to a northerner.
But politics have dynamics.
No.
Okay.
Politics must have a face. It must have a face. Okay. He's a traitor, and we're going to retire him this time.
Okay.
Okay. So now looking up to 2027 election and having your presidential candidates in person of Mr. Peter Obi saying that Peter Obi, okay, saying that he's willing to run for one term. Do you think that one term is enough for him to, rebuild and revitalize Nigeria?
How many terms has the election done?
One term.
Do you think people will allow anybody to come near Oti today?
No.
In Abia State?
It's possibly not.
He has done it in less than 3 years. Yes. To your question. It is possible. If you don't even achieve all of it, the foundation would have been laid.
Okay.
And it happens. You see, we don't control our lives. We talk about 2 terms. Who told you you're going to live beyond tomorrow? So when you start, we have a saying where I come from. I don't know if you understand my language.
Say the way you wash your hands.
When you wash your hands, you know how you're going to eat the food. Some people just come, when we're eating together, some people come, put their hand, they start eating. You will take your time and wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
That's the difference. Okay. When you start your plan, we'll see how you're going to work. You could start the plan and God takes you away tomorrow. What happens? Must the world come to an end? But we know there'll be a template that will change the face of this country, I guarantee you. When Peter Obi becomes president of Nigeria, the narrative will change worldwide, not just in Nigeria.
A final question because of our time. We're looking at Delta State. Delta State declared for ADC from PDP. APC from PDP. And now you have somebody who is your governorship candidate. Of course, everybody feels that Peter Okute Obi is competitive. How competitive do you think your other candidates, governorship level, House of Assembly level,
we'll have formidable candidates.
Okay.
Our governorship candidates, by the grace of God, is Deacon Chris Yowaye, the managing director of Wellman Group, a man who started a company from scratch and today is one of the biggest conglomerates in Nigeria. Panalpina folded up because of him, a foreign company. He moves equipment that nobody, the biggest in Africa. He has written a book about the hidden treasures of Niger Delta. Go and read that book.
No, we know. Most industrialists and academics, they don't make good politicians because there's a lot of things involved. They don't make good politicians.
If you want good government, give it to a businessman.
Yeah, give it, but power is not given.
Well, that's why we're working for it. We're not asking them to give us a la carte.
Okay.
We are working seriously towards it. I just left him now. I told, in fact, the meeting we're having at 10, he's going to be there.
Yes.
I just left him, and he's a young man. He's only 62 or 63. I have faith in him, implicit faith in him, because I've interacted with him for the past 3 years. We've had conferences both in Brussels, in London, and in Paris, where I've had this man passionately talk about Delta State.
I have to alert you. That's why I'm telling you how much work you have to do, because we had an election in this state between Ibori and one Kraga. Kraga was a clean industrialist, very intelligent. But at the end of the day, he did not win the election.
They did not know then what we know now. They rigged the elections.
Okay, you people have evolved.
I told you the people's will must prevail come 2027.
Okay.
Did you hear what I said? we are going to make sure that the people's will prevails. If they win, so be it.
What are your pattern of mobilization?
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
I will not tell you.
It's a security.
Well, I mean, why should I? You want to go and play football?
No, we want to buy into it.
Wait, you want to play football? Wait
it.
a minute, my dear young man. You want to go into a football match and the opponent says, "Tell me your tactics." That would be foolhardy.
Or your strategy.
That would be foolhardy.
Okay.
No, we have a strategy. We have our plans.
Okay.
All I'm telling you is that it will not be business as usual.
Okay.
They were having a discussion the other day. They say, "You obedient and conquers here. We know you have population. You can do this, but we have the way of rigging election." Okay. I said, "This time," he said, "He's in the APC." I said, "This time we're friends." I said, "This time you're not going to write results in the room. We will stop it."
So now coming to 2027 election, do you think your party, the NDC, they have enough structure on ground to conquer the 2027
that question. Yes. You keep talking about structure. Who is the structure? The people. I just gave you an example that PO didn't have this structure you're talking about, physical structure, but he garnered over 6 million votes last time without any councillor anywhere in this country.
Structure is not interpreted in other ways.
So this time, we understand. They use publicity to downplay the result. They're not going to do it this time. I am part of the structure. If you are a member of ADC, you're part of the structure. Yeah. Anybody who's you don't have to be a physical office to be a structure. Okay. It's the people that make up the structure. And we have them, I can assure you. Yesterday, when I went to see our House of Assembly member for Oshimili South, I was marveled with the crowd. One person. Market women, students, artisans. And I said to them, "How did you pull these people at such short notice? We only told you we're coming 24 hours ago." He said, "It's what they call organic love."
Organic love.
And that is what is propelling us. We have that organic love and following for a philosophy that has been espoused by 2 wise men, maybe 3, in the past. And we tend to have forgotten them. We're bringing a synthesis, a synergy of those ideas that were espoused by Awu, Zik, and to a lesser extent, Sadwana, to bring Nigeria together and make this country should be great.
That's right.
We should be great for God. I was at the stadium, race course it was called then in Lagos, in 1960, when the flag of Nigeria went up and the Union Jack came down. We wept. We wept because we felt we have arrived. The students were so galvanized that they resisted government. British government was so imposing, they wanted to set up a military base in Nigeria. The students in Ibadan said, "Over their dead body." They stopped the government. Government listened. Today, the student union leadership is cash and carry.
But what's over?
Cash and carry.
It's not political.
We have to stop them and let them understand that this country belongs, for God's sake. If my candidate wins election and he says, "Mr. Ajifo, come and take a post," I will slap him. At my age, I'm beyond serving physically in any government.
Yes, that's true. You're an elder now.
Absolutely.
A councillor.
Yeah, I can join the government.
Yes. What we're looking at, we hear of, what is it called? Coalition. G100 or something.
Yes.
Is it still working?
It is. I spoke to Professor Kila yesterday. Yeah, something has been done.
Okay.
And like I said, it's not everything you discuss in public.
Strategy.
People are still aggrieved. Even within the same family, you have disagreement.
That's right.
So we have to marry them. And it's diplomacy that, you lick hot soups gently. You don't rush to lick hot soup. You do it
All right.
gently.
Thank you, Mr. Dele Ajifo, for obliging us your time to talk about your party, to talk about our politics. We are all hopeful. What we all look forward to is good governance.
Absolutely.
That will, maximize our resources for the benefit of the people. They are not being exploited the much that we want. And so we hope that the better candidates wins for the people.
I can assure you that Deacon Chris Ijowaye, from all resources available to us and information available to us, is going to turn Delta State into an El Dorado.
All right, we look forward to that. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Still stay there. When we come back, we'll just relate amongst ourselves and begin to shut down on the program. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
will bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Asaba, a city by the bank of the river Niger, custodian of ancient culture, the beat of the big heart, the capital of Delta State. Asaba is a bustling metropolis full of life, business, work, and the nerve center of Delta State government. Visitors throng the city of Asaba on daily basis to do business, have meetings, or simply to relax and have some rest. The government reserved area GRA Asaba offers a quiet serenity backed up with the presence of the powerful government house. Nestled within this quiet and serene GRA is number 10 Apartments, a beautiful architectural masterpiece, a home away from home. Exquisite, serene, classy, luxury, peaceful, a safe haven.
The apartment is developed to be a home away from home. It's a place where you don't have crowds, and then we want our guests to feel at home whenever they come in, to have their privacy, to be comfortable, to be independent, and feel at home and enjoy their stay.
Number 10 Apartments has elevated the concept of hospitality into an art of luxury nurtured in nature. Its homely ambience is a magnetic pull for those who cherish comfort, nature, serenity, luxury, and safety. Ensconced within the proximity of Government House Asaba and the police force headquarters, Delta State, number 10 Apartments is a perfect place for those who seek complete security and a sanctuary of luxury.
Number 10 Apartment is very, very close to the Government House. Is a walking distance from the Government House to number 10 Apartment. Because it is located behind the police headquarters, the safety of the environment is guaranteed.
Hello, good afternoon. This is number 10 Apartments. We are here to deliver the best services.
A sojourn in number 10 Apartments is a journey of total comfort. From the reception, the ambience fills you with warmth, nature, and class, ideal for short or long-term stays. Welcome to our 3-bedroom presidential luxury apartment, tastefully furnished for your comfortable family or group stay.
In our 3-bedroom apartment, we have a very spacious living room. We have a dining area. We have a mini bar. The master's bed is wonderful. It is a place where you can actually feel at home, like you are in your own house. The restroom is equipped with jacuzzi, and the wardrobe is top-notch. Whatever you find in that master bedroom, I believe you will have the best. Then we have a well-equipped kitchen with electrical appliances.
The elegant 2 bedrooms diplomatic apartment is specially prepared for a smaller group of family, friends, or colleagues. Step into our spacious 1-bedroom executive suite just for your own maximum comfort. Cozy yourself up in our 1-bedroom deluxe suite. Then be all to yourself in our well-appointed studio room for that single room effect. All our apartments are exquisitely furnished and fit for purpose that make your stay memorable. A relaxation at number 10 apartment garden is an elixir of rest, entertainment, and instant satisfaction. Our 24 hours power supply, modern facility, all-round internet service, homemade aura, professional management, a strong culture of customer care, and excellent housekeeping make our guests the kings and queens in number 10 apartment kingdom. With a vision to deliver the best comfort and luxury, and a mission to provide a safe and serene accommodation, styled like your home, you are surely immersed in paradise. Number 10 Apartments, your maximum comfort and luxury, your safe haven, your serene habitat, makes your stay memorable and cradles you with unique hospitality. Welcome to number 10 Apartment, your nest of luxury.